Axiological philosophic foundation of science. Now, axiology, which is also a major branch of philosophy, which actually means theories of values, is actually divided into two parts in philosophy. We have the first part, which is ethics, and the second part, which is aesthetics. Ethics has to do with the study of values that have to do with morality. Ethics has to do with moral values. That is, what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, what is the best way to do good, what is the best way to avoid evil. Where does good come from? What is the origin of morality? And then the other one is aesthetics, which is actually the value of beauty. That is the study of beauty, the value that comes with beauty. What does it mean to say that a person is beautiful? What does it mean to say that this object is ugly? What does it mean to say that this object is really a perfect job? How do we know the best structure to define a perfect job? So here, this foundation has to do with the general knowledge about cultural values and their influence on science. What do people value? Are the values behind scientific knowledge ethical, aesthetical, or social? For example, biotechnologies, Bluetooth earphones, Apple and the Oraimo. So here, the philosopher is laying a foundation that the scientist should follow, telling him that there are some values he should be concerned about in carrying out any scientific research or scientific experiment. That is, are these things ethical or are they not ethical? If I do this, if I release this tablet into the society, hope it will not kill people. Let's take for instance, we know of recent that NAFDAC banned Indomie, but it is not today that Indomie have been taken or have been said to cause cancer, but it is of recent that NAFDAC banned Indomie, and it's because taking Indomie in the long run could actually cause cancer to those who take it. And then you now ask yourself, the person producing this Indomie, did the person not know, or did the person not do good research before producing and then releasing these things into the society? Just like the example I gave again under where I say Bluetooth earphone. We have the modern age that's the new development now is that the type of earphones we use is not those ones with wire anymore, but the ones with Bluetooth. You just put it in your ear, connect it to your phones through Bluetooth, and then you play music. But researchers have shown that the radiation coming out from the use of Bluetooth earphones, that's AirPods, is way higher and can cause brain damage, can cause brain cancer, can cause brain tumor, even stroke in later years to come, because it is almost I think they say it is almost 300 times the normal radiation on normal, that's if you are walking on the road, is of the normal radiation on the road. So you have 300 times when you are using the Bluetooth to listen to music and make calls. But companies like Apple and Oraimo, which they are into the tech world as scientists as they are not interested. They are only interested in making profits. Now, to the detriment of the persons who are using these objects. So this is the reason why the scientists need to understand that he should know the values behind the scientific research that he's carrying out, and he should make sure these researches or experiments are ethical. And then, how beautiful are they? You just not make things and then even make things that are ugly and then bring it out to the society. How do we even appraise the beauty of what they are making in the society? So we say some foundations of this include values as social and subjective versus objective knowledge. So with this, we'll be moving to the next slide. I think I've done justice on this, but values are social and subjective because values can also be cultural. What is good in Igbo land, what is seen to be good in Igbo land may not be good in Hausa land. So values are social and subjective. So the scientists need to know this and know that what he's creating should also be valuable, even though in all subjective societies. And then he has the problem of creating something that is subjective and also objective, because it must also have objective knowledge. So we'll move to the next slide, which is anthropological philosophic foundation of science. Anthropology, which is gotten from the two Greek words, which means anthropos and logos. Anthropos means man, that is man. You have department of anthropology and sociology, and so anthropology simply means the study of man. And then we say metaphysical anthropology is a branch of philosophy that asks the question, who is a human person? I ask again and I say again, metaphysical anthropology is a branch of philosophy that asks the question, who is a human person? Anthropology is concerned with the question, who is the person? What makes a person a person? Is it the body? Is it the soul? Is it the combination of the body and the soul? Is it the spirit? And so on and so forth. And then we say that the scientist is a person. This new scientific knowledge are for human beings. Thus, there is need for the scientist to understand the human person. So the scientist is not allowed to just do things anyhow. He needs to understand that all his output into the society is also for the human person, to make life easy for the human person. And then there are lots of challenges here, because now the scientist is a human person, and you know that a lot can influence the human person. What if, let's take for instance, Hitler, who was influenced by a lot of things, and his hatred for the Jews led to the death of millions of persons. Now imagine a scientist whose hatred for maybe a particular race, and then he decides to wipe out that race by carrying out a scientific research. So before we accept things from a scientist or from the scientific world, we need to understand where the scientist is coming from and look at his person first. Also, we need to look at his person and understand if he's in the right state of mind, or if he actually has mental illness also. So there is need for us to understand the human person. Also, the scientist also needs to understand that he should not see the human person as an end, as a means to an end, but as an end in itself. Rather, the scientist should not see man, he should not see the human person as a means to an end. So those scientists who make use of human persons as lab rats, that is gateway test or something, let us use this person as lab rats. Let's use this person as test or case study first before we release society. They should not see the human person as a means to an end, but as an end in itself. And so we say the main aim here points out that the human person is at the core of science and technology, which presupposes the need for anthropological philosophic foundation of science. Conclusion. So far, through these foundations, the relationship between philosophy and science has been established. So we've been able to establish a relationship now that it is obvious that any scientist that says there is no need for philosophy of science is actually doing philosophy of science. He's indirectly doing philosophy of science, because like I wrote here, he said, even to deny the relationship, as some scientists do, is philosophy of science. So for you to even deny and say, hey, there's nothing like philosophy of science, there's no business philosophy has in science, these philosophers should shift to one side, you are actually doing philosophy of science. For you to say that, it means you are doing philosophy of science already. So these foundations also would help the scientist to know how he's carrying out his researches, like we've looked at the 5 of them: ontological, epistemological, social, axiological, and anthropological. We've looked at these 5 foundations, and we've seen how they lay the grounds where the scientist will be coming from whenever he enters the lab or whenever he enters his workshop to do any scientific research. And so I'll be leaving you guys here, and then the next class I'll be uploading it also once I'm done with the slides. So I'll see you guys by next week before your exams. I wish you all the best. So thank you and have a nice day. I remain myself, Mr. Onyeka. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment box on the YouTube page. Or you can also drop it on WhatsApp for me, on the WhatsApp group. Then I'll attend to your question. So, thank you.